Hey friends. Gosh, I'm doing this on my phone. So just to kick off this video, I'm going to do a Trello walkthrough from my car, hopefully, if this works. Just to give you a little background, I am a full-time mom, a full-time worker bee. I have a pretty busy job, but I'm here because I love time management tools, and I wanted to just quickly, hopefully 10-15 minutes in my car in the parking lot, give you a walkthrough of Trello and how I use it to organize my thoughts. For me specifically, I use it for my blog. You might watch this and then think of different ways you could implement it in your life. I also use it just to manage meal planning, any other various to-do items that I have. It's a really, really helpful tool if you set it up just for whatever you need to, whatever project you need to manage. Project being used loosely. Blogging is not really a project, but basically I can categorize the different things I need to do for blogging, and it helps keep me sane. So I'm going to share this. Just wanted to kick this off and let you know I'm in my car and this is my life. So I hope you have a wonderful day and you find this to be really helpful. I'm going to share other tips like this because my channel is kind of focused on the working mom, and we need resources to help us keep sane. So
Okay,
here we go.
guys, I finally figured out how to screen share. That was, wow. Okay, so it's like, with anything, the first time you do it, it's super painful. And then once you figure it out, I feel like now I know how to do it. So I can just screen share anything. Okay, so what we're going to do is I created a blog workflow template. So right now I'm within Trello. So you'll want to create an account. Go to Trello.com. This is free. Um, this tutorial, I'm going to high fly over things a little bit, and then if there's anything, I'm not really a subject matter expert. I just did a little Google search on my own and tried to figure out Trello. There's a couple resources I'll link on this blog post as well that will be really helpful for you. They were for me when I first got started. Um, I had heard of Trello as kind of a project management tool, which I wasn't sure really worked or suited what I was looking for. But you'll see this was, at least for me, it's been an amazing tool to help kind of keep a bunch of ideas together, to-do lists that all relate to a similar project. So for me, I needed some sanity brought into the blog workflow process. So right here are my boards. I have several boards you'll see, but I'm going to go into my blog workflow template. And I'm actually going to save this template for you guys because I want you to be able not to have to start from scratch, and maybe what I've already done will be helpful for you. So in this blog post, you'll see a link and you can just go and basically show menu. And under more, you can copy the board right here. So go ahead and copy this board. I'm happy to share it with you. So, and then you can save it as your own and modify it any way you want. Basically, what I've done with a blog workflow is I think of Trello as kind of the lifespan of my blog. So within that, I have let's start over here. So kind of in this middle section, I have this section called blogs in the queue. So basically, if I'm working on a blog, so it comes from my idea bank, I drag it over to my blog in queue. That means that I'm working on the blog. So whether I am starting to draft up my blog post, it's just in process. So if I have something going on this week, I'll drag it over here. From there, I created categories for some of the bigger things that I need to do with my blog post. So for me, that's creating images and pins. So if I was working on this blog post called Why Cream, so this makes sense to me, this is my shorthanded summary. Kara, our owner, did a really informative video on why she chose cream makeup, and I want to do a post on that. So I what I could do in here is actually, so I double clicked on that task and I can actually add an attachment, which can be a link. So what I would do here is I'd add a link to Kara's blog, little video that she did. So when I open this up, it will already be linked to that video and I can refer back to it. So then what I can do is drag this topic kind of along in my different lifespan for this blog post. So now I know I need to create images and pins for this post. And then here's a few things that you guys will see. I basically finished these blog posts, so I put them in my finished and scheduled category. Within these categories, let me actually jump out of here and I'm going to go back a little bit. So I'm doing Michelle's, well, obviously you all are, but I'm going to post this a little bit broader on my blog. I'm doing Michelle's insider group, and I'll include a link in this blog post for that as well. Michelle has some really informative steps that we need to include in our blog before we publish it. So what I did was I took what she said and then I added some things and I created a checklist within this workflow that I can use for all of my posts. So let's say I wanted to do why cream and I want to do this Kara video as a blog post. What I'll actually do is go into, this is a template, so I don't want to modify it. I want to just make a copy of it, right? And I'm going to call this Why Cream Makeup. And I'm going to keep the checklist and I'm going to move it over into, we're going to keep it in the blog workflow board. And I'm going to move it to my list called Blogs in Queue. So I'm going to create a card for it. And over here, Why Cream Makeup. So now this I pulled from my idea. And now I've created a separate card for it, so I really don't need this anymore. So I'm going to archive it. It's going to go away. You could even delete it if you wanted to. But now I have this Why Cream Makeup. So here are all the things I need to make sure I finish before I publish my blog. And then once let's say I'm writing it, I like to also keep my drafts in a Google Word document. So I could include an attachment for that and attach it here to my Google account and my Google Drive. So then I can just pull it up there. Let's see, what else do I love about this? I have just a random list of all these things that I want to do. There's some courses I want to purchase. There's some leadership training I want to do. I want to do some pinning. This is just a mind dump for me, and this is how I use it. I found it to be super, super helpful. Here's another little reminder for me. If I'm going to do a blog post or a Instagram post, it needs to be one of these 4 E's, and I think Michelle also educated on us on that as well. Unless your content is satisfying one of these 4 things, you really shouldn't be sharing it anyway. So that is how I use this board. And let me just, for one more minute, show you the other application that's been amazing. So this is my weekly meal planning. My husband and I share this board. And this is literally what we're having for dinner all week. No more of that annoying, what are we doing for dinner tonight conversation. Super duper easy to set up and takes the guesswork out of it. So for me, I love Trello, and I'll share both of these boards. I'll make copies for you, and I hope you find it helpful too. So let me know if you have any questions, and have a wonderful day.